What's up, guys? It's Cade Bekanich with Park Lane Financial Group, and today we're going to be talking about why my wealthiest clients still ask me whether or not it's appropriate to make a $500 purchase. Let's get into it. When I work with my wealthiest clients, people that clear $30, $50, or even over $100,000 a month, there's a reason that these people come back to me and ask questions that, in the reality of their overall financial situation, may or may not make or break them. There's a reason that the people who make money tend to keep money. And oftentimes, even if you are a significant spender, there's a way to pull back on that and become more responsible with your finances. For those clients of mine that do make significant amounts of income and keep that income, it's because they have one intention in mind: build long-term wealth for themselves and their family. So when a client who clears $50,000 a month in net income still asks me if it's okay to make a $500 or a $1,000 purchase, it's because they're acting with intention. They're coming to me to make sure that this one particular decision isn't going to lead to further expenses associated with that purchase, and to make sure that it's not going to impact whatever it is that their long-term goal is. Even though $500 or $1,000 or even $10,000 in a purchase might not make too much of a difference in someone's life who's making $50,000 a month, every decision matters. And as you guys have heard me talk about in previous videos, finance is behavioral, and in order to build long-term wealth, it's these small decisions that actually matter. So if somebody wants to spend $500 on taking out a family member for a very nice dinner, can they afford it if they're earning such a significant amount of income? Probably. But to be cautious and be aware of every dollar that they spend is exactly why that they've been able to accumulate the wealth that they have in the first place. Number two is because they want to make sure that these purchases are helping them to stay in line with whatever it is that their long-term goals are. Meaning, is this purchase going to impact my ability to achieve the long-term wealth that we're looking to build? So even if it's only $500 or only $1,000, they want to be sure that all of their other obligations throughout the month are met first before making these discretionary purchases. So in order to be sure that you're fulfilling all of your savings needs, covering all of your expenses, and investing appropriately every single month, or at least every time that you get paid, it's really important to determine whether or not these decisions are going to prohibit your ability to do that. So being intentional with your purchases, being sure that these purchases are in line with whatever your long-term goals are, is the only way to keep yourself on track. So again, even though $500 might not seem like a lot, especially if it's a one-time purchase, it really is, because when you begin to make those purchases carelessly and don't hold yourself accountable for what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, that's when the snowball starts, that's when excessive spending occurs, and that's when you get off track to achieving your long-term goals. And number three is to achieve peace of mind. The reason that people work with me in the first place is to get a full understanding and a clear and concise financial plan. My responsibility is to help you make good decisions, and when clients call me and ask whether or not they can afford a certain purchase, it's because they're relying on my expertise and my ability to analyze their entire financial situation to see if that purchase actually makes sense. Oftentimes they're able to afford it, but for those people who are not able to, or those people who are kind of on the verge of whether or not they're actually staying on course for their financial plan, it's important to break down each purchase, understand why you're making that purchase, and see how it's going to impact your plan moving forward. So again, even though $500 or $1,000 may or may not seem like a lot of money depending on your personal circumstances, it's a matter of being sure that every single decision you make aligns with what your long-term goals are. So in order to have a client be sure that they're on track to achieve their goals and feel confident in their ability to achieve their long-term intentions, whether it be building personal wealth, building generational wealth, making significant charitable contributions, making significant purchases, whatever it may be, every decision along the way matters. That's why behavioral finance, decisions that you make day in and day out, outside of what you're earning, are extremely important to building long-term wealth. So those are the three reasons that no matter how much money they make, wealthy clients continue to call me to analyze small purchases to be sure that they're staying in line to achieve their financial goals. Think of it this way: every decision that you make, every purchase that you consider, really impacts your long-term ability to achieve your financial goals for three reasons. One, you're choosing to spend money rather than invest it, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. We just have to be sure it's something that you could afford. Two, is the purchase really necessary? Is it something that you're passionate about? Is it something that's truly going to have a positive impact on your life? And number three, what is the long-term intention of that purchase? Is it a one-off, like I mentioned earlier, going out to dinner, going on vacation, or is it something that could be considered an asset? For example, if you guys know me personally, you also know that I'm in the gold and coin business. It's something that I absolutely love. It's something that I've grown up around. So for somebody who might be spending $500 on a collectible coin or a piece of gold or a piece of silver, even though the purchase might be because you enjoy that particular asset, it could also be seen as an investment. So why are you making the purchase in the first place, and understanding what the intention behind that purchase is really helps to determine whether or not it's actually feasible and whether or not it actually makes sense for your long-term plan. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.